steroids in fitness. It's become. I feel like being on social media, I think it's becoming more prominent. But for young guys using testosterone or any other gear,
people are a lot more open about it.
People are a lot more open about it. Where do you think the state of, like, whether it's creators, should people be more open about it? Is it becoming more of a prominent thing in fitness?
Yeah, so imagine this, right? I have whatever portion of the fitness industry you want to allocate to me. Let's say I create a training program and a new diet, and then I take a course of steroids, and then I point the finger to my new training program. A 20-30% increase in sales to me is a tremendous amount of money. So then you're looking at a bribe of, okay, for $500,000, are you willing to lie for 12 weeks? And it's fucking tempting. I've thought about it before. I'm like, right, I could run some clenbuterol, I could maybe get some SARMs, put on myself on a bit of testosterone. I could point the finger to this program, every day go live, go, guys, you're not going to believe what this periodization is doing to me. Then a supplement company might go, hey, James, we're releasing this new supplement. It's liver tablets. They're pretty fucking useless. Do you fancy selling them? Well, yeah, guys, I've actually been mixing this periodization with this liver supplement.
It's easy to mislead people.
So easy. And people are more desperate than ever for gains, let's say. And people don't want to hear, oh, yeah. So, for instance...
I mean, look at Liver King as a prime example. He pretty much lied to his whole following, built up millions of followers.
He was doing $100 million a year. $100 million a year.
I mean, that sounds enticing to do if you earn 100 mil. I don't know what he's put his body through.
He's probably taken about 10, 15 years off his life.
Do you think
But they're not the good years. You know, when people are like, oh, go vegan or go meat-free Mondays to live longer. I'm like, them years between 70 and 90, who's living in them? You're just breathing.
Mark Boris.
Yeah.
He's the outlier.
Do you think there's a lot of, like, not to the extent of Liver King and the following that he built, but there's a lot of creators and fitness influencers out there that are probably doing what he's doing still?
Oh yeah, 100%, and it's going to be rife. Women do it as well. Testosterone is a big thing for women to manipulate as well. And then it's not only just these like physique shows and things they're doing. It's about how they get status and how they get eyes on. And let's say you're just a gym bro who's endorsed on TikTok or Instagram, or you're getting YouTube views. My argument would be, why wouldn't you take steroids? You know, why wouldn't you put yourself in harm's way? Like, it almost becomes a part of their brand. Transparency is what I'd like to see, because then we can respect these people for their decisions. And it is pretty obvious from the outset. And like, I'd like to see it all around, because Chris Hemsworth, I love him. I think he's a dreamy guy. I question my sexuality when I look at him.
Phenomenal actor as well.
But when you see him in the most recent Thor, you're like, bro, you are juicy. And people go, oh, but it's just a movie. And I'm like, but what about the Centerfit app that he sold for a couple $100 million or whatever it was? You're like, oh, they're muddying the waters a bit. So
Fairly. I mean, I'm sure he's not just doing that off a CrossFit app.
I mean, every different Thor movie, he's got a different physique that's equally as...
But it's same as applicable to Hugh Jackman for Wolverine. You know, your John Cena's, your Zac Efrons. You know, people aren't stupid. Look at The Rock.
people think he's natural.
Yeah.
People believe he got more muscle in his 40s than his 30s and more muscle in his 50s
That's
than his 40s.
what I can't comprehend.
It's impossible.
That.
And like, there is a big trend at the moment of people going natural though. A lot of people are coming off cycle because we're really starting to understand the impacts it can have to your health. Like before, I thought it was just the fact of having more tissue that it would stress your body out. But there are quite a few markers for health that, you know, but imagine if you're an athlete and you're facing the chance of making it or not making it. Let's say NRL, right? You're on the cusp of making a team. Someone's like, oh, if you take a bit of gear, you know, you could make it in. You could be a nobody that no one's ever heard of, or you can make the first grade team. All you got to do is take a chance. And if you get caught, you made it, and then you get shamed. Surely in some respects, that's better than no one ever knowing your name.
It's a risk to reward almost ratio.
It depends on the